Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're new to Populous Lotus Club, I am your reader. A little disclosure, I curse, so if you don't like cursing, just, you might have to click out, or if you can wrap your mind around it, welcome to stay. I talk about real stuff, I speak the truth, shame the devil. I don't leave any details out, and it can be a little disturbing. So, if you're not really into the truth for real, then you might want to click off too. And yes, I do want your support, but if it's not for you, I don't want to force it. I'm not holding nobody hostage, okay? Nobody hostage. So let's see what comes out in the cards, okay? I am pretty much channeling something about tradition and spiritual, and how they each have their goods and bads. I'm also channeling where somebody is could possibly be focusing more so on their self, like self-substantiating. I think I might be saying that wrong. Okay. Not really looking for a partner at this time. You're trying to just figure your own stuff out, get everything that you need to get in order, like, clear up your own junk before you jump into anything else. And I feel like, once you do this, you're not going to accept anything less, It's something about the way we mirror one another. Sometimes you can be imbalanced or unequally yoked with people who can have things that you want. So you yoke yourself to them so it can appear that you have those things. Okay. It's like it prolongs your process of obtaining those things,
Yep.
So let's see. We have the Queen of Wands.
Oh, give me a second.
We have the Hangman. We have the Ace of Swords. So this is looking like a decision that you could have pondered on for a very long time. Okay, it could be something where you're changing the way that you view yourself, view the world, view your relationships, whatever this is here. But it is definitely something. It's definitely going to be something that's going to, where you're going to have to be courageous, because I feel like this is something that you probably going to do independently. Okay, you may not have a lot of support while doing this here, collective. This is why it's something that's going to be something that's very independent. Okay, it's a new perspective. Is you letting go of maybe toxic behaviors, so that way you can let go of toxic connections. You might be the scapegoat or the chosen one in your family connection. You might be the one calling some sort of truth out with the Ace of Swords. You could be very clear on the things that are no longer acceptable for you, and because you are doing these things, it might be where you could be outcasted, you can be judged, you can be seen as the threat, because you're threatening the hierarchy, you're threatening the patriarchy, you're threatening the tradition of what was safe for them, which has never been safe. And you can be highlighting these things here, collective. All right, so it's going to take a lot of courage to separate yourself from what you once knew. Okay, so something could have happened. You could have went through some sort of transformation independently. Maybe you wanted to be a part of something here. We have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is coming out. When it comes out crossing, I take it in the upright. Okay, this is going to be something that is worth your while. Okay, a lot of wish fulfillment, financial independence. It's going to be conflict here, though. Okay, it's like there's going to be people that's going to be trying to get you to compete for their attention, for, some sort of support here. I feel like this is something you're not going to do. I feel like maybe in your past, when you could have been figuring shit out, you could have tried to get people support who was pretty much in competition with you. Okay? You may not have known who you truly was. You could have had to step into a place of knowing with the Ace of Swords and realize that that was not support which you was receiving, which you was maybe begging for in the past. Okay, I feel like there was a lot of people who could have been competing against you here, collective. You could have had a lot of people who just even bullied you. I feel like you are just somebody who, it doesn't matter what environment or what you have, you still going to see yourself as that one. Like you're always going to see yourself as that girl or that guy. You're not going to allow anybody to tell you different. And you can live in a box. You can live like but you can be very clean. You can keep that box clean to the T. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get the things that you need. It can be very simple living, and like you would have people in your energy like you shouldn't feel like that. Like you live in a box. Feel like shit because you live in a box. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you just wouldn't bow down. And I feel like, you found yourself probably around a lot of bullies because people are so intimidated by your energy that is crazy. You can possibly stand up for yourself, or maybe not enough. It's something about I don't know, you can be very graceful. You can give a lot of grace. And people could have taken that as a weakness, But I do see that you were definitely placed in competitions where you didn't sign up for. Like, why would you compete where you don't compare? For many of you, you're not really a competitive type of person. You don't even compete against yourself, It's like, I feel like you just got this herb. And I'm sorry, I'm about to crack up because it's funny and sad at the same time. Because though you can share empathy for others, it's like it's unfortunate that you weren't able to get the same things. You could have been in abusive relationships, okay, that wanted to bully you into conforming into things that you just didn't believe. You could have came from a background of studious people, right? But you was the rebel, and you was making the whole family look bad because you was doing your own thing. You wanted to be free. You wanted to break some sort of tie or chain. You may not have known this before or how to put it in words, but it was a feeling within you. Like you could have if this don't apply to you, don't just let it fly, okay? But if you were the rebel in your family coming up and you were the defiant one that didn't follow the rules and you cut school and you just did the things that you wanted to do, it could have definitely put you on a road that was harder. But I feel like you learned a lot for just not just listening. You learned a lot for exploring. You learned a lot for trying to break free, even if you had to be sneaky in doing this, okay? But I feel like, if that was you, people that's in your community hated the fact that you was making them look bad, that they had to maintain their image of support when they really didn't support you at all. So it's like they had to work harder because you was making it harder for them. Yeah. Some even admired you. This is crazy. Some people even admired you. But because they were afraid to step out of the patriarchy or the hierarchy or whatever, the family code, value, traditional system, whatever this is, they got angry with you because it was like They didn't want to be the ones being shunned or talked about and shame. They didn't want to be the one, but they admired the fact that you had the freedom to do so. So it will cause a lot of conflict and disagreements between, maybe these are your siblings. Why you just can't listen? Why you just can't do what mommy and daddy tell you to? Why you just can't do this? Why you gotta make it harder for all of us? You could have been raised in a household, if one does bad, then y'all all getting punished. And you could have been the one like, I don't care to get punished. Oh, well, I'm going to enjoy myself and have fun. It's already a punishment having to do every single thing that somebody else tell me to do with no enjoyment, no sense of self, no identity, nothing. And it may not have come to you that way. But again, you was that person that just, and they could have hated you for that. They got in trouble for you. Or it could be like the reverse, but they got in trouble for you. It was always you. But at the same time, it was like some secret envy that, and some secret hatred that was mustering up. Like, yeah. We have the Seven of Swords. And this is underneath the Queen of Wands. And how I'm taking this is like somebody was trying to rob you of your independence. And this is exactly what I was talking about before this card even came out. It was like you was trying to be, like someone was trying to strip you of your independence, but wanted you to be independent. But they wanted you to be independent the way they wanted you to be independent. You feel me? Somebody was trying to rip the courage out of you. Like the lion. Was the lion in the Wizard of Oz the courage? Where he no longer had courage or whatever, like to do anything. It's like somebody was trying to rip the courage from you, okay, the confidence, so that way you can stop doing the things that you do. It's like somebody was trying to control you. I'm hearing puppeteer. Somebody was trying to puppet you, but you was too hard to, your strings always popped, I'm seeing. But I do feel like somebody was trying to do this strategically, quietly, because like I said, this is somebody who was trying to maintain an image that you was pretty much breaking. Pretty much. You was breaking an image, and someone had to, I feel like this is just somebody who was trying to, do something quietly, secretly. They wanted to appear to be loving and supportive and, concerned and things like that, but secretly they hated you. Secretly this was your biggest bully. Okay, secretly they wish that you wasn't it, like secretly. But because the position in which they stood in, like this is somebody who can't say that. Nowadays people say it, like if you're a kid, like I can't stand this kid, I cannot stand you, like I can't wait till you to get a certain age so you can get the hell out my life. And this could have happened. You could have had to leave home when you reached 18 or something like that. Somebody could have pushed you out silently, you know what I'm saying, and blamed it on you. It wasn't something that was honorable. You and this person knows this though. You could have even called this out. You could have even spoken about this, Get Collective. This could be a mother figure that really bullied you. Maybe even had a lot of conflict and disagreements with. This could be somebody who like excused abuse because they were abusive. We have the Two of Cups. This is the way I feel like, if this is your story, it shaped the way you entered relationships.
It's okay.
Okay? It's like now you're looking at relationship different, Maybe you were always or linked and tied to a bunch of narcissistic people when you were tied to them. Now it's like something where you're going further within, you're changing something. I feel like now how you're entering connections is You have to be sustainable in all your needs, okay? And I mean, like, on it. Like, you really don't need nobody for nothing. You want them in your life, but they have to come with the same type of energy. This is something that's healthy. This is something that is not karmic, but you could have done a lot of karmic relationships. Okay? You could have, confirmation, you could have definitely been used to abusive relationships being normalized as okay, and just keep it to yourself and be insidious and be sneaky and just whatever stays, whatever happens in the home stays in the home. It doesn't matter what it is. I feel like you just was never that type of person. Like, you just always was that one to speak the truth and shame the devil. It didn't matter how many times you had to start over in a connection. You know, good for you. All right? Good for you. Knowing when a relationship isn't safe, for you to soften up to stay safe in it, for you to feel protected in it. Knowing when it's time for you to exit left, you know, knowing when enough is enough, but also knowing who is going to be the right person for you. If this is not in, like, whatever this is, whatever this relationship is, it can also be you balancing out your masculine and your feminine from within. You know, you're going to have all your needs met. You're going into relationships as a whole person now, not in pieces, not looking for another person to balance something out that you don't have. So if your finances is low but you have a lot of bills, somebody else can come in and help you with those bills instead of you working a little bit harder in that financial area, or, you know, maybe living a simpler life so you can decrease those things so that way you can get up in that area. Instead of working on them things independently, you're no longer going into connections looking for someone to help you with things that you just don't want to do on your own. So that way you cannot be in a abusive relationship, because now again you are able to sustain your own independence. And whoever that comes in is going to have to be able to do the same thing. This is the change that you are willing to go and execute in order to find healthier connections. No more sneaking around. No more, waiting for someone to get their shit together. It's like, don't come towards the collective if you still got some sneaky shit going on, if you got some stuff still playing in the background, if you're going to use something that I might be. That's why you're not lacking anymore here, collective, because the things that you lacked on, you could have been just, always in a place of need. Okay? Wanting help, wanted partnership, but you realize that can easily turn into something very abusive, very toxic in so many ways, and it can be used against you, and that's what you're not doing anymore. And it's like, for some of you, you're even okay with never being in a connection again, especially if it's not going to pour into you, or where you can pour together. For many of you, you're just manifesting a happier, healthier relationship with a partner. But you know what you have to surrender. We have the Ace of Cups followed by the Ace of Swords. definitely successful in your relationship with yourself, for certain.
Yeah.
You can be pouring a lot of love into your spirituality. You can be standing on business when it comes to your spirituality. You can just know that you made the right decision to walk away from things that don't serve you, that was stealing from you, that was putting your soul, that was placing you in competitions and conflicts and people envious and jealous and mad and angry because, you know, like, who got time for that? I do feel like this is a union of self. It's a beautiful thing. I do feel like you are going to receive a lot of success and abundance coming through this. There's going to be a lot of things that you create, confirmation. It's going to be a lot of things that you create that's going to bring a lot of money your way. Okay, a lot of financial abundance and a lot of love. And it's going to be something you love to do. It's not going to be anymore where you have to go into a dead-end job with a bunch of toxic people that you hate for a check. Because it's something here you're getting clarity on it all. Like, all things got to go. You're cutting it out. No matter how it looks, how it gotta feel good. If it don't feel good, then you're not fucking with it, and that's just period. This is definitely you following your intuition. Okay, these are new feelings. This is a beautiful thing, and it's all because you're tired, and it's okay to get tired. Just because you're tired doesn't mean that you're giving up. It's just like you're tired of the same old shit. What can you do differently? Hangman, okay, this is what I need to do differently to actually attract what I actually want, so that way I won't settle the next time because maybe I'm lacking or they're lacking. We're not doing that karmic shit. Karmic life is over. It's now time to step into some sort of divinity, some sort of divine union, some sort of divine connection. And what I'm saying is, your mind got to be right for your heart to be right. Your heart got to be right for your mind to be right. And that's on period. And if you're doing the work, whoever's going you're calling in has to do the work too. No questions asked. Some people can think that you're just real hard. You are definitely following some sort of advice. Okay, it could be from your higher self, your spirit guides, the Most High Himself. This is happening very quickly. It's like I said, the financial independence, right? This is happening very quickly, and I feel like this is something that you're going to be manifesting very quickly because your mind is there now, and your heart is there. It's balanced. Your heart and your mind is balanced now. They are in agreement with each other. They're no longer conflicting. They're no longer trying to convince the other to just settle or just think this through or just what if this or what is not. They're not conflicting with each other. They're working together like a teammate. So now it's going to be so much easier for you to manifest, get something off the ground that you could have been working on, something about communications. You could be a communicator of any kind of sort, but whatever this is, it's about to be happening very quickly. So prepare yourself for this. Okay, it's definitely forward movement. All right, a rapid change.
No, we didn't. It was
some of you can be traveling, moving. Okay, by airline, or you can be moving in the distance to where, if you wanted to get there, you would have to take a plane too.
It's automatic. Yeah, it's automatic.
It's like you're finally your inner is about to really meet your outer. Okay, the real outer. So all that time when you thought that you was that bitch, that guy, whoever, and you was living in the box, now your box is going to turn into something that you actually, if you want a mansion, it's going to be a mansion. If you want a cabin, it will be a cabin. If it's a trailer, it's going to be a trailer. Whatever it is going to start to match your whole energy. It's going to. If you think they was jealous then, wait till now when they see that you decided to be strong and continue to not give up and be resilient. Okay? Go up against them here, collective. It was tiring going up against these people who were stuck in abusive, toxic ways and, being conformed and, like, yeah. Why am I hearing 12 years a slave? Is it 12 years a slave or 10 years a slave? Let me see. I think it was 12 years a slave. I think it was. Let's see. Was it 12 years a slave? Yep, it was. It was 12 years a slave. That was a good movie. Yep, it was. They say you could watch it on Netflix. It was a real good movie. So the overview of the movie was, it says, in the years before the Civil War, Solomon Northup, and then a free black man from upstate New York is kidnapped and sold into slavery in the South. Subjected to the cruelty of one malevolent owner, he also finds unexpected kindness from another as he struggles continually to survive and maintain some of his dignity. Then, in the 12th year of the disheartening ordeal, a chance meeting with an abolitionist from Canada changes Solomon's life forever. So, you could have felt like you was trapped in a family connection or a union, a marriage, something like that, or whatever. Like you was just living the wrong of, you was just in the wrong life. Like you was kidnapped. Like what the hell? And it could have went in like somebody could have gaslighted you. Somebody could have been really kind. You could have seen this person one way, and then you got close, and it just switched up on them, and it was a bunch of competition. A lot of conflict in the connection. You had to fight through this. You did. You had to fight through it all. And then that final year, like you could have felt like this was ended, like you was never going to get out of this. Like it was always going to be a battle. Like you was always trying to convince somebody that you were never a threat. You know what I'm saying? Like that they made the wrong decision, that they made the wrong choice. It's like it's over. Why continue to fight, or why you can't keep beating a dead horse? It's not gonna wake up. It's dead, right? Okay. It's you taking the courage to move forward. Okay, taking everything that you had to go through, all of the ordeals, all of the conflicts, all of the bad and abusive relationships, whatever, and you had to build some boundaries from whoever this is, for yourself, whatever. But it took a lot of courage. It did. We started with courage, we ended with courage. Period. It took a lot. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Now, whatever's coming your way, right? You're going to have to maintain it, and that's not going to be easy too. But it will be, all of whatever you went through was definitely a test of faith. It was a test of faith, and it was gearing you up for something bigger. The Magician, the bottom of the deck. Wow. Then I say that you're becoming whole with this, and how the cards at the bottom of the deck just maps out for clarification here. This is a beautiful thing. This is a beautiful thing. So we have the Magician clarifying the Queen of Wands to the Seven of Swords. Okay? It takes a lot of skill to watch people. And this could have been something that you could have picked up when you were younger, but you really didn't know. But for those of you who've gone through a lot, when I say a lot of different experiences, starting from childhood and a lot of changes and things like that, you may not have known how to use your discernment, but you feel it. and this is why you on the journey or the path that you're on. Okay, you could be the chosen one in your family, the one who is walking independently out of the bullshit that they were trying to, you know, trick you into being in. All right, you will always creative. I feel like whoever you are, you have a lot of talents. Okay, a lot of talents, and that can be another thing where the people around you really don't have a talent for real, you know? And it just always seems like even though you might live in a box, right? It always seems like you always bounce right back up because you have talent. You know, you don't only got to lay on your back or do things for, strange things for change. I got that out. Ooh, that didn't want to come out. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you have to do certain things. You can always find a way. You find hustles, but hustles that are righteous, that are upright. You know what I'm saying? You always find a way. It's like somebody wanted to kind of like trick you out your spot, but you always manifest to get back where you need to be, period. You know? And I feel like people know that. When it comes to the hangman, clarifying to a Cubs, I feel like, it's a life cycle, a turning point, a change. There were a lot of ups and downs in your romantic relationships. There was a lot of ups and downs even in your communal relationships with family, friends, and just realizing what love ain't. And I feel like this was the cycle, destiny, okay, for you to go through these experiences, these cycles, so that way when you got to the point where God finally can trust you with a lot more, you're tired. You got to be tired because then he knows, like, okay, now let me go ahead and see. He's going to start trusting you again with more things. So that's when you get blessed with the clarity, with the Ace of Swords followed by the Ace of Cups. Now this balance is whole. It's finally where he wanted you to be. He didn't want you in conflict with yourself, because if you're in conflict with yourself, you're going to meet people who are in conflict with themselves, and that's why it's going to be a lot of conflict. And then that's where the abusive relationships come through, and then that's when the forced phony love come through. That's where the trauma bonds come through, because there's no wholeness. You're not building on solid foundations when you go into relations that way. I feel like because you have completed a cycle of understanding this, that it's not the other person's fault. It's things that you had to clear up within yourself. And even if things were placed on you, right, now it's still your responsibility to kind of clear it up, because you're carrying in it, right? You're going to keep carrying something that somebody don't want, that they've already given you. They've already probably abandoned you. You don't know where they at. You can't put it back on them. Who's left to carry it? You. It's no more being a victim. It's now being the victor.
I'm not gonna try that.
Fighting through it, knowing what you want, what you don't want, and finally finding a resting middle ground between your own mind and your own heart space. So they came together, and now it's a wholeness. It's a wholeness. So you have completed a cycle. Okay, there's a lot of fulfillment coming from this, a lot of happiness coming from this. Is coming through this, and whatever it is arriving fast. With the Nine of Pentacles to the Eight of Wands, it's the Justice. That's you finally receiving what you deserve, what you've been fighting for, how you felt from the inside, not allowing people to drag you, even when you was dragging or been dragged by others, or being put in situations that you could have trusted, and you could have did this and you could have did that. It just is what it is. But again, you're about to receive some sort of balance, some sort of clarity, some sort of truth, something about a cause and effect, because you're doing the work. Now you're about to receive your rewards for real. It is coming in fast. So be prepared for this. Be prepared for this. And it doesn't have anything to do with your old connections or family, friends, partners, whatever. It's something that you're doing independently, because you always felt like that person. You always had a spirit of wealth within you, and you had people around you who seen your light but didn't want you to see your light. So again, with your bad behavior, the bad behavior was giving them the excuse to treat you the way that you was behaving, even though it was freeing, even though it was a sense of independence. But because they wanted to shut your independence down, they didn't want you to feel like this. They didn't want you to feel free. They didn't want you to feel whole. And they lost. They lost. They put you through a lot. Now the scales are being balanced. Okay? If they pushed you away, let them stay away. If they didn't give a fuck about you when you was down, let it stay that way. Okay? With the Five of Swords and the Knight of Wands, you have success and victory because you fought through this. Okay? You maintain some sort of self-worth, even if you felt broken, even if you felt, overpowered, even if you felt regret, even if you dragged yourself, even if you allowed yourself to drag yourself in an abusive relationship for decades, for time and time again, even if you held this over your head, you still fought through it. You kept trying to fix things. You kept moving forward until you couldn't move forward in that direction anymore. This is where the boundaries came. And people are not going to respect the boundaries, so it is what it is. You're not going to keep fighting. Okay, all my life I had to fight. I think I say that probably in mostly all of my readings. But then there's success coming from this. Eventually, you will get the praises. People are going to try to figure out, wait a minute, who helped her? Who helped him? People are going to try to figure out who's their husband, who's their wife. They're going to try to figure out who's next to you. But there ain't nobody else on this horse. It ain't going to be nobody else that's going to be able to take your acknowledgement or your accomplishments. Oh, they only got there because of this man, or they only got there because of that woman is next to them. It's not going to be nobody there. Now, what might come after? It might be something else. But it might be a little bit longer. But it's going to be somebody coming in. Queen of Cups. Something about you giving maybe some sort of financial situation some time to grow. You looking at your money. You are independently. You taming your own beast peacefully. Peacefully. You're breaking free from the hierarchy, society and its rules. You're breaking free from it, and you're trusting your own inner knowing. Something, again, I said tradition, it says religion. Yeah, you're breaking free from look, Knight of Cups, Queen of Swords. If I keep going, so help me. But is there something here that you're going to be doing independently? It's like whatever you're working on is because you've given all of your love to it. Okay? You've embodied more courage to follow your passions, to follow your dreams. It took some time. But it's nobody else there. It's just you and yourself and I. Me, myself, and I. That's what I got in the end. That's what I found out. And it ain't no need to cry because I'm gonna be my own best friend. You being your own best friend at this time. Or that time, or whatever time, wherever you placing yourself on this timeline, if it belongs to you. Whatever it is. I think I'm going to leave it here. I'm not going to do nothing else. Okay? I don't want to talk no more. This is what the reading is. It is what it is. Congratulations. All right? You made it. All right. Until next time. Namaste.